Good evening. Happy Friday. Hope you had a wonderful day. At least where I'm sitting in my office here, looks like our storm clouds are starting to gather, but it's been a good day and got to mow some grass and do things around the parish, which is always good to spend time outside. So I hope you did as well. Keep in mind tomorrow, if you don't mind, tomorrow would have been our first communions here at the parish, and I'm sure many other of our local parishes would be doing something similar. So please, in your kindness, say a little prayer for our second graders tomorrow. And I believe our confirmation will be coming up in the next week or two. And then we just sort of go on down the line with our eighth grade graduation. I know our high schoolers, their graduations, our college students, their graduations. So a lot of these really pivotal ceremonies that I know our young people are strong and they'll be okay, but it's still a disappointment nonetheless. Please pray for all those affected in the coming days. I also have my first pandemic wedding tomorrow afternoon. That's why we're going to be locking the church in the early afternoon. So you can pray for them and for all the couples who need to postpone also. So it's hard for me to put to words exactly what I'm grateful for today, but I know what I'm trying to say. And I think what I would call it is for this divine readjustment of my perspective. I was going through my Amazon wish list and in my shopping cart, a lot of times I'll just put things, save it for later. And then as I get a little extra money or something, I might go ahead and buy myself, treat myself, as they say in Parks and Rec, to a little special something. But as I was going through that wish list and save for later shopping cart, I just saw so many things that really I don't even have an interest in anymore. So a lot of those things I just deleted because they're really not that important to me now in light of how we're living and what our limitations are. And I've seen that maybe more than I would have imagined over these past 40 days or so, where things that maybe in the past I really thought I needed or wanted, at this point now, I don't really want them. I definitely don't need them. And I wouldn't have come to that realization without this time of forced prayer, isolation, and reprioritizing of the things that are important to me. Now, for sure, there's been some really good things that I've been unable to participate in with my family, with my parish family, and just personally. Those things, I don't see that as a good thing, and those things will have to be mourned. I think increasingly our family for 2 years has been planning a vacation to celebrate my parents' anniversary. And it just seems like that's not going to work out and will have to be postponed to the future. And that's a sad thing. That's not, I don't see that as something God is saying, yeah, take this, Father Schrader. I hope you like it. But in the midst of that sadness and that loss, there are good things. I notice much more now how much I appreciate things like a walk or the weather or being able to eat a good meal that I can go out and get. Those things that I would have taken for granted before, this new perspective puts them into focus as the blessing that they are. So that's what I think I'm grateful for today, and I hope that even when we ease back into what I would call normal life or typical life again, if there's one thing I hope I wouldn't lose, although it will be easy to, it would be this new perspective of seeing what's truly important and what are true gifts from God and what perhaps in the past I viewed as important were little more than distractions or things that were certainly not that helpful to me. So that's what I'm grateful for today, that in the midst of this pain, this new perspective has given some clarity and maybe some wisdom to things that I, in the past, probably spent too much time or energy thinking about or striving for. So perhaps that's something in ways that you can relate to in your own life, and maybe your priorities for the better have shifted, and we see things a little bit more clearly. I know I certainly have, And I thank God for that, despite the painful ways that clarity has come to pass. So take some time today to give thanks to God for the ways He has blessed you, not just today, of course, but in these weeks that we have been working together to grow in holiness and to see God and find God even in the challenging moments that we find ourselves in. So have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I look forward to praying with you again tomorrow night.